because you only care about what he can do for you. So if you want to pretend, that's fine.
All right.
I can
All
hardly look
right.
at the
So
kids. And
today,
when I do, all I see is everybody we've lost.
today
Just a
we are
scared little
going
boy who's afraid to
to
be
talk
himself.
about problems, man. Like what problems you got? What's going on in your life? Need some advice? You know what I'm saying? You got something going on, don't know quite know how to deal with it. Need some opinions, some thoughts. Let's talk about it, man. What's going on in your life? You know what I'm saying? I'm only gonna be here for a little bit, so talk to me. What's wrong? What's going on? You got problems on the job, problems with your relationships, problem with your wife, your kids, your husband. What problems you got? People on the job giving you problems. Let's talk about it. Okay, let's talk about it. Dating, breakups. What is it? What's going on? What is it you need to talk about? Let's talk about it. You got family issues? Let's talk about it. Let's get into it because we all got problems. But sometimes you need that outside voice to kind of help you get through it. So what is it? What's going on with you? What kind of problems you going through? You dealing with right now? What is it? What's going on? What's going on in your world? Hmm? What is it you trying to deal with that you may need some help with? You need some advice. Let me help you out. Let me get you back on track. I know it's the 4th of July. You by yourself on the 4th of July. You're a little lonely. Let's talk about it. Let's figure something out. Why are you lonely on the 4th of July? Should you celebrate the 4th of July if you're African American? That might be a question you got. So, what is it that you feel like you need to talk about? What is it that's going on in your life that you want to address? What is it? What's going on with you? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Okay, yo, you said don't call. Okay, I ain't gonna call your name. All right, so all right. So this person say that they have been interested in somebody. I have been interested in somebody for a number of years. We have been in communication for 6 to 7 years. Wow, it's a good little while. But recently, everything has stopped. She sometimes gave me the impression that she was wanting to do something more. I end up moving away, and we still have not connected. And as of now, all communication between us has stopped. I will admit there was someone else in the picture. I wasn't sure, or maybe I was just misreading her signals. Okay, well, let me tell you. And I'm gonna give you my honest opinion on this because I know a lot of people gonna try to knock you, and that's not what giving advice or helping somebody is about. Here's the thing. Let me ask you this: was this person in a relationship when you met them? Throw that answer into me for first. I kind of build on that and really give you some more. I give you a little bit more solid foundation. Yes, they were y'all. Okay. I see what you're saying. All right. So here's the thing. It happens all the time. We meet somebody on the job. We talk. You connect because in reality, we all know that for those of us who work full 40 hours week, 40-hour weeks, the greater portion of your day is spent on the job. So when you're on the job, you're going to meet somebody that you may feel like you kind of grow a connection with. And even though that person was with somebody else, it may have been some problems going on in the home that you could have been what they call like the work husband, work wife. Now, I'm not a fan of the work husband, work wife thing, but the fact that she was with somebody else, it just sort of goes to play in the fact that, you know, uh, she was never yours to begin with. And I know that's probably not what you want to hear because she is probably dealing with some things with them. Because sometimes when people are going through troubles in their relationship, they can find comfort with somebody else. It's not always sexual, sometimes it's just emotional. Emotionally, somebody on the job may tell them that they look nice or tell them that they're handsome. Somebody on the job may compliment them more, listen to them. It's little things like that that emotionally a person may gravitate towards to, and they may feel like this little emotional connection. So I think, and you also said that you moved away. I think, probably there may have been some intent in her mind that maybe you were a possibility, and the fact that you moved away and you haven't been back. So you haven't been back in 3 years, but y'all just basically communicating off and on. Okay, through words, friends, words. What is it that? I play that thing online. It's like the little Scrabble game, words with friends. Yeah, I get that. Hey, it happens, man. So probably either she probably just really found peace in her life, or she's met someone. She never talked about the other guy. When you ask how's the family, don't she? Yeah, you know what? It is probably the fact that they work things out, or she just really found a place in her life where she's happy and she just kind of settled in right there. And if that's the case, then she's just really found a place in her life to where she can't really hold on to the past, because no offense, but you are now the past. You have moved to a different location. Um, it probably didn't seem to her like you was a viable option anymore, if that's what she was considered in the first place. But the thing about it is, you know, I think you just have to let her be happy. And I'm telling you this, and I'm telling you this from experience, because I was in a similar situation. You know, when a person gets to the point to where they find peace, and although you may feel like you want to be with that person, sometimes it's best like to let that person have that peace. In other words, you're saying that you want them to have happiness. If they have happiness and peace in their life, you want them to have that. And you don't want to step in the picture and cause that happiness or peace to be disrupted, especially if what you're offering is unproven and what she is currently having is proven to work and is happy for. I know it sounds crappy, but it's actually the truth. And it's something that I had to learn, man, that, you know, sometimes you may not be in the right place, you may not be in the right setting, or, when you're not stable. But if you really love somebody and that person has come to a place where they are stable and where they are happy, you have to be strong enough to step out of the picture. It don't mean that you hate them. It don't mean that you're jealous. It just means that you're looking at the situation as you want them to embrace the happiness and you don't want to take away from it. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I know it's hard to hear. Oh, you agree? Yeah, I mean, you agree, but it's hard to hear, because sometimes when we do, fall in love with somebody or become emotionally attached to somebody, we start having dreams and thoughts of what it can be or could be. And if that person has moved into a place into life where they actually have that, although it doesn't mean that they hate you or they don't care about you, it's just that they found peace in their life and they probably found it in somebody else, and you don't want to be that person to disrupt that. And I tell you what, one of the things that really hit me was I was watching the Wayans brothers show one day, and Marlon was dating this girl from the Air Force, and she was ready to give up the Air Force to be with Marlon. But Marlon really wasn't ready to be what he needed to be for her. And his brother had to remind him of a story of when he had a frog, and he had the frog in the box, and he told him that the only way the frog could live was he had to let the frog out the box or it would die. And it's similar to how sometimes we don't pay attention to the fact that sometimes we have to let people go on with their lives. No matter how much we love them or we want to be with them, sometimes it's just not meant to be, in the fact that they're in our lives as a husband, a wife, or a relationship. Sometimes a person just comes to show you the possibility of what is out there. You know what I'm saying? Because my thing is, I wanted that person to find happiness, and that was even my prayer to God, that person finds happiness and finds love. And I think that's the thing that you got to remember in the situation. Ultimately, you want that person to find love. You want that person to find happiness. You don't want to be the one to, cause a person to lose their direction in life. You know what I'm saying? Or take them off that path. So yeah, so you got to know when to step in and when to step out. It's hard, I know, especially when you know it's a good person and you know the person she with, needs to recognize that you got a good one. And sometimes people don't recognize that they got a good one, man. So yeah, bro, for that one, you know, don't count it as an L. Just count it as a instead of an L for losing or a loss, count it as an L for winning. Because sometimes you just gotta let it bounce like that. Just gotta let it bounce. Next one. So I celebrated the 4th of July. No, no. You know what? Even before all of this stuff started, I was not celebrating the 4th of July. I have never celebrated the 4th of July because I simply didn't. I've never believed in the 4th of July. And then that's just a fact. I've never celebrated the 4th of July. I just always thought that the 4th of July was a lie. So no, I've never celebrated it. I don't even celebrate Juneteenth because to celebrate Juneteenth to me, I understand everybody does what they want, but to celebrate Juneteenth is almost the same as celebrating the 4th of July. I mean, the only difference between the 4th of July and Juneteenth, you know, the 4th of July was when, America declared independence. Juneteenth is when slaves in Texas found out like 2.5 years later that they were supposed to be free. Well, I mean, I don't understand what you celebrate. I just don't understand what you celebrate when you say that's what you celebrate because it don't make any sense to me. You're celebrating the fact that you were still, that our ancestors were still getting beat and whipped just for 2 years afterwards because nobody decided they were going to check on people in Texas. Come on now. Come on. No. But that's it for today, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it. And we will be back with more of life struggles, advice,